Hello engineers, welcome sa ating second set of Construction, Occupational Safety and Health. So this is COSH 2. So dito we have 35 items. Okay, so may konting memorization lang dito tapos more or less it's very easy. So let's start with number 1. So an act strengthening compliance with occupational safety and health or OSH standards and providing penalties for violations thereof. So strengthening compliance with OSH standards tapos providing penalties for violations. So this is the Republic Act number 11058. Okay, so memorize that. Strengthening compliance with OSH standards and providing penalties. This is the Republic Act number 11058. Okay, proceeding to number 2. This is otherwise known as the Labor Code of the Philippines. So kapag Labor Code of the Philippines, this is the Presidential Decree number 422. Okay, remember that. Presidential Decree number 422. Kapag Labor Code of the Philippines, it's a Presidential Decree number 422. Number 3, this policy issuance defines and enumerates the implementing rules and regulations of the Act strengthening compliance with OSH standards. So, itong nag-define and enumerate the implementing rules and regulations. So, this is the DOLE Department Order number 198 of 2018. Okay? DOLE Department Order number 198 of 2018. Number 4, this entity is responsible for the conduct of continuing studies and research to develop innovative methods, techniques, and approaches for dealing with occupational safety and health problems. So sila yung responsible sa pag-continue sa pag-promote ng studies and research about OSH problems. So this is the Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE. Okay? Number 5. This entity shall set and enforce mandatory occupational safety and health standards. So set and enforce mandatory occupational safety and health standards. This is the DOLE Secretary. Okay? They set and enforce mandatory occupational safety and health standards. DOLE Secretary. Number 6, this entity may collect reasonable fees for the inspection. So kapag may about money, about fees, so they are the one responsible to collect reasonable fees. This is the DOLE Secretary. Okay? Number 7, this entity shall be solely responsible for the administration and enforcement of OSH laws, regulations, and standards. So responsible to administer and enforce these OSH laws, regulations, and standards. This is the Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE. Number 8, a qualified safety officer for or its equivalent. Okay, take note, safety officer for, duly certified by DOLE to perform and or render consultative services. So ito yung hint mo, safety officer for, tapos consultative services. So it's none other than the OSH consultant. Okay, consultant, consultative services. Number 9, any person trained and duly certified to administer first aid. Okay, so clue mo dito is administer first aid. So these are the first aider. Okay. Number 10, a qualified first aider, nurse, dentist, or physician engaged by the employer to provide occupational safety, occupational health services in the establishment, project, site, or workplace. So ano yung general term sa mga qualified first aider, nurse, dentist, or physician? They are called the OSH personnel, okay? OSH personnel sila. Yung first aider, nurse, dentist, or physician. Number 11, a qualified safety officer 3 or its equivalent. So kanina, safety officer 4. Ngayon, safety officer 3. So take note. Tapos, render occupational safety and health services. So this is the OSH practitioner. Okay? So kanina, safety officer 4 is the OSH consultant. Ngayon, safety officer 3 that render occupational safety and health services, this is the OSH practitioner. Number 12, a regular and critical examination of project site safety programs, records, and management performance. So kapag critical examination, this is the safety and health audit. Okay? Kapag mga examinations, It's the safety and health audit. Number 13, a set of rules issued by DOLE. Okay, so from there, that statement alone, that line alone, set of rules issued by DOLE, it's the OSH standards. Okay. Number 14, a set of detailed rules to govern company policies, processes, and practices in all economic activities to conform with OSH standards. So set of detailed rules to govern para mag-conform with OSH standards. It's the safety and health programs, okay? They set the detailed rules. Number 15, a body created within the workplace tasked with the authority to plan, develop, and implement OSH policies and programs. So may clue na tayo dito. A body created within the workplace. So it's a group of people. So it's the Safety and Health Committee. Number 16, a workplace where there is low level of danger or exposure to safety and health hazard. So itong number 16 is like a bonus question na if lalabas sa board exam. Kapag low level of danger, of course, immediately the answer is low risk establishment. Okay? Number 17, establishments, project sites, and all other places where work is being undertaken. So parang general yung tinatanong dito, all other places where work is being undertaken. So kapag ganito yung choices, of course, the answer is covered workplace. Okay? Covered workplace. Number 18. So ang haba ng question, pero when you read this question and then you find this statement, there is a high level of exposure to safety and health hazards. Of course, the answer is high-risk establishment. Okay? So wag kayong matakot sa mga long problems. Hanapin nyo lang itong statement na to and then you'll find the answer. Na bonus question pala to. Di ba? It's very easy. Number 19, a workplace where there is moderate exposure to safety and health hazards. Pag moderate exposure, it's the medium risk establishment. Okay? Bonus questions. Number 20, specialized clothing or equipment designed to protect workers against safety and health hazards. Okay, so from this statement alone, from these two lines, alam na natin na it's PPE. Okay, pero sa choices, we have two PPEs, personnel protective equipment or personal protective equipment. Okay, so sayang if you choose the wrong answer here. Okay, so take note, yung tamang answer is personal protective equipment, okay? So bonus na rin to na question. It's very easy. Personal protective equipment, okay? Take note, personal. Next, number 21. If a particular sign requires to be visible from 15 meters away to avoid any hazard, what should be the area of the signage? So ito, my calculation, area of the signage. So for the calculation, this is the formula. The area of the safety sign should be greater than or equal to L squared, which is the distance of observation, over 2,000, which is constant. Okay? So ito yung formula. Tapos, from the given, 15 meters away daw, di ba? Pero yung choices is in centimeters. So we convert 15 meters into centimeter. So we get 1,500 centimeter. Tapos squared over a constant of 2,000. So we get 1,125 square centimeters. Okay, so that's the answer. 1,125 square centimeters. So all you need to remember is the formula kasi you just need to plug in the given sa formula and then you get the answer. Number 22, what color should be used to direct traffic in the workplace? So kapag direct traffic, the answer is white. Next, kapag fire naman, what color should be used for safety signs relating to fire protection and combustion warning? So, obviously, it's red. Okay, fire, red. 24, what color should be used for alert to designate dangerous parts of the machines? So, kapag dangerous parts of the machines, this is the orange color. Okay, orange kapag machines. So, ito, situational. So for the first situation, we have a high-risk construction project that requires 140 workers. Okay? High risk, take note, high risk, tapos 140 workers. So for the first question, minimum number and designation of safety officer required. So let's look at the table. So my table to. So number of workers, we look here. Tapos we fall into this range kasi 140 workers yung given. So dito tayo sa 100 to 199. Tapos number of safety officers. Tapos high rise tayo, di ba? High rise. So we fall into this. 1 SO2 and 1 SO3. Okay? 140 tapos high risk. Okay? 1 SO2 and 1 SO3. So the answer is 1 SO2 and 1 SO3. Number 26, minimum number of first aider required. So from the same table, dito naman tayo, number of first aider, di ba? First aider, tapos stop here kasi dito tayo sa 140. So we need 2 first aiders. So the answer is 2 first aiders. Number 27, minimum number of occupational health nurse required. So from the same table naman, OH nurse, dito OH nurse, tapos 140, dito tayo na range, di ba? So we need 1 full-time. The answer is 1 full-time OH nurse. Number 28, minimum number of OH physician required. From the same table, OH physician. Ito, OH physician. Tapos dito tayo, so we need 1 part-time OH physician. Diba? So it's very easy to look at the table. You just need to understand it. So 1 part-time. Tapos huwag kayong ma-overwhelm sa table. You just need to understand it. So number 29, minimum number and type of occupational health facility required. So facility, same table pa rin. Number of OH facility. So dito tayo first. First treatment room, ilan ba kailangan natin? So 140 dito, tapos first treatment room. So dito tayo, additional 1 for every 50 workers or fraction thereof. So since we have 140 workers, so kailangan natin ng 3 kasi 140. So 140 divided by 50, we get 2.8. So we need 3 first treatment rooms. Tapos ilang clinics naman kailangan natin? We need 2 clinics. Tapos for hospital, we don't need any hospital. Okay? So we need 3 first treatment room, tapos 2 clinics. Number 30. How many hours per day and days per week should a part-time OH personnel report to the construction site? So ito nasa baba. So part-time daw. So it's here. For a part-time, they need to report 4 hours per day, tapos 3 days per week. Okay, so it's here, nasa baba. So 4 hours per day, 3 days per week. Number 31, who should be the secretary of the OSH committee? Okay, so there's another table for this. So secretary daw. Tapos let's look at the category we fall in. So dito tayo, kasi 140 workers. So sabi dito 51 and above workers in low to high risk. Okay, so we fall into this category sa baba. Tapos yung tinatanong is secretary, so it's the safety officer. Okay, so the answer is yung safety officer, yung secretary of the OSH committee. Next, if an OSH committee was to be formed, who will act as a chairperson? So chairperson na naman. So for the same table, dito tayo sa baba, di ba, na category. So for the chairperson, it's the employer or his or her representative, okay? So from the choices, the answer is employer. Second situation, last situation for this set. So during the safety audit of LGE Construction Company on a 180-day construction project, 24 cases of accident resulting disabilities were reported. The total manpower on the project is 35, working at an average of 8 hours a day for the whole project duration. Okay, so that's the situation. First, compute for the disabling injury frequency rate. Okay, take note, frequency rate yung hinahanap. So what is the formula? This is the formula for frequency rate. Number of disabling injury or illness times 1 million. So this is a constant all over employees' hours of exposure. Tapos take note, for frequency rate, it should be rounded to 2 decimal places. Tapos expressed in terms of a million man-hour unit. So ito yung mga given. 180-day project, 24 cases, 35 people na manpower, tapos 8 hours per day. So for the frequency rate, 24 cases yung number of disabling injury. Tapos times 1 million na constant, all over 180-day project, tapos 35 na manpower, tapos 8 hours per day sila. So it becomes 24 million over 50,400. So we get a frequency rate of 476.19. So take note, 2 decimal places, so 0.19. So the answer is 476.19. Next question, if a total of 5 workers were not able to work for 10 days each due to the temporary disability brought by the injury, compute for the disabling injury severity rate. So kanina, frequency rate, ngayon severity rate. Okay? So for the formula sa severity rate, it's total days lost times 1 million over employees' hours of exposure. Okay? So ang nag-change lang talaga sa formula is this part, total days lost. So same na times 1 million na constant tapos over employees' hours of exposure. Tapos take note, dito sa severity rate, should be rounded to the nearest whole number. Tapos expressed in terms of a million man-hour unit. So same lang talaga sa pag-solve natin sa frequency rate. All that changed is this one. So total days lost, 5 workers tapos 10 days each. So 5 times 10 times 1 million over 180-day project, 35 na manpower tapos 8 hours per day. So 50 million over 50,400, we get 992. Tapos, di ba, whole number. So 992. So the answer is 992. For the last question of the set, calculate the average days charge per disabling injury. Okay? So for the formula, total days lost over total number of disabling injury or illness. Or kapag na-solve na natin yung severity rate and frequency rate, you just divide it. So severity rate over frequency rate. So since na-solve na natin, so the average days charged per disabling injury or illness is SR over FR. So it's 992 over 476.19. So we get an average of 2. Tapos no mentioned specification about rounding. Okay? So the answer is 2. And that's it for our second set ng COSH. I hope marami kayong natutunan sa ating COSH sets. And ano lang talaga, tiyaga lang talaga sa memorization for the provisions and all the presidential decree and then the unit, the numerical unit sa mga presidential decree, diba? So just be careful kasi COSH is really easy. It's an easy topic. You just need to memorize the provisions and all the terms, okay? So see you in our next classes.